Neighbor called the cops on me because I was exposing myself inside my house, but she was bawling her eyes when I charged her with trespassing, and cops escorted her out. Plus all updates. A couple of weeks ago, I pulled into my driveway and was greeted by a woman waiting for me. She claimed she was there out of concern for the neighborhood children. According to her, she and her kids had seen me through my windows dressed inappropriately while they were hiking. I told her that wasn't possible because the only way anyone could see into my windows would be through my backyard, which is far from any hiking trail. She replied condescendingly, "Well, sweetie, I'm sorry, but I have proof." She pulled out her phone and showed me a picture taken of me in my underwear through my window. It was blurry, but I knew it was mostly me because my hot tub, pool, and garden were in the picture's foreground. I pointed this out. The only way those things could be in the picture was if they had been taken from inside my backyard. I asked her directly if she and her kids had jumped my fence. Instead of giving me a direct answer, she lectured me about how inconsiderate it is to be an exhibitionist around children. I explained that I would never exhibit myself in a situation where I thought young children could see me, but I wasn't expecting anyone to trespass in my yard. She ignored the mention of trespassing and launched into a tirade about how she's sure I must be very proud of my body since I paid enough for it. I've had breast implants and some skin removal due to weight loss and a few tattoos to cover scars, but that's no excuse to expose myself to children. She ended her smug little tirade by saying, "So honey, you'll be closing your blinds from now on?" I told her that I absolutely wouldn't be because only people on my property could see in the windows, and she and her children were not welcome. She dropped the sweetness and started bitching that the previous owner of my home had been family friends and hadn't locked their gates, and why even have a butterfly garden if kids can't visit? And that it takes them half an hour to walk to the park unless they go through my yard, and that she'd seen kids at my place before and why were only she and her children being excluded? At this point, I was pissed, so I told her that I lock my gates to keep souls like her out. She just kept harping on the fact that she'd seen other kids at my place, so I told her those are my nephews, who I love, whereas I don't give a single female whether you and your kids live or die. She started crying at me like she was possessed. I don't know if you guys remember that insane God warrior lady from Trading Spouses, but that is the caliber of yelling that this woman in my driveway was doing. I went inside, but she stayed out there for a few minutes, going on and on about being disrespected and how she was going to call the cops because I was a pedophile making death threats toward her family. A few days afterward, the psycho returned along with a police officer. She had reported that I was exposing myself to her kids and making threats to her life. I told the officer my side of the story and showed him my backyard so he could see that the crazy lady's photo evidence could have only been taken while trespassing on my property. He had printouts of her evidence. I showed him the pictures they had to be taken inside my fence when I realized they were actually from several different occasions. I'm wearing different garments in some of them. I pointed this out again and pointed out that all of them had to be taken while trespassing. At this point, it seemed to click for the officer that